These two, very similar in size. Same height and reach. Arreola slimmer than he's been in the last few times out, weighing in at 236. Kauffman, the younger fighter by 4 years. Meanwhile, Arreola says he must fight like the younger, hungrier version of himself in order to make a statement tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the AT&T Center from San Antonio, Texas, live on NBC. This is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 12 rounds in the heavyweight division. At ringside, your three judges, Valerie Dorset, Wilfredo Esperon, and Ursula Perez. And the referee in charge of the action, Mark Calloy. And now, introducing first the red corner. He wears the red, white, and blue. As a professional, near perfect with 30 victories, just 1 defeat, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. From Reading, Pennsylvania, Travis "My Time" Kauffman. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he wears the solid black. Impressive as a professional. He brings 36 wins, 31 by way of knockout with 4 defeats and 1 draw. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, introducing Chris "The Nightmare" Arreola.
Chief second, let's fix those trunks. Let's go red corner. Let's go blue corner. Okay, athletes, we've already gone over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Shots here and up, we're good. Shots here and up, we're good. Good, clean boxing. Touch gloves. From this point on, take care of your...
Crowd excited, a buzz is building. We're ready to get started here in San Antonio. For the call, we go ringside to Marv Albert, Sugar Ray Leonard, and BJ Flores.
All right, thank you very much to Liam and Chris Arreola in his last fight this past July, a 10-round draw with Fred Cassie. Arreola says he is his toughest critic. He said he was terrible in that last fight, but it's his own fault. He did not put the work in, and Liam mentioned the weight problem that he has had in the past. You know, 2 fights back, he came in at 262 pounds. Arreola does have tremendous power. 21 of his 31 career knockouts have come in 3 rounds or less, including 13 in the very first round, and he comes right out on Kauffman.
First rounds are going to be very important, Marv. Arreola told us that yesterday in the fighter meetings, and he says he wants to let Kauffman know early who he's in with.
And Arreola told me yesterday, he said, all I want to do is redeem myself. I want redemption here. And he's hopping out the first round trying to take advantage.
Kauffman's 1 loss. He's at 30-1, 22 by knockout. Back in 2009, stopped by Tony Grotto. Appeared to be in front, but he got caught by Grotto in the 4th round. And at times, Kauffman will go from orthodox to southpaw. I don't know how that's going to work against Arreola.
Nice left jab by Kauffman a second ago, and then he dug down to the body, but he got caught with a nice right hand from Arreola. Nice counter shot. So Chris's eyes are seeing things in there.
What you also have to realize, these guys they know each other. They know each other's style. They know each other's timing. So it's going to be interesting here.
And you see Kauffman just make the switch to southpaw. He's going to try a couple things out and see how it works and see which position he wants to stay in.
Arreola has faced just 1 lefty in the past 9 years, a fight against Joey Ibel in 2011, with Arreola stopping him in the first round, so that did not work out too well against Arreola.
And you see Chris look to counter that right hook to the body that Kauffman's shooting with his own left hook. Good idea. Catch Travis on his way coming in and make him pay with that counterpunch.
You know, a question that I have is sometimes, you know, fighters, particularly heavyweights, they lose a lot of weight and they take something away from themselves. It's like Buster Mathis. He was such a big guy, but when he lost weight, he wasn't the same.
Particularly with Arreola's style, where he likes to brawl rather than attempt to outbox his opponent, and does have a very high tolerance for pain, as we've seen in his past fights.
Here in the first round, guys, both fighters kind of still, feeling each other out, seeing what's working. Travis shooting out some taunts and feints and trying to confuse Chris a little bit. Chris having some good success on the inside earlier, though.
Good uppercut by Kauffman.
Watch that elbow.
And again, Kauffman lands. Arreola came out quickly. Kauffman able to recover. And things have settled down here with final seconds left in this first round. All right, Ray, as we touched on, Arreola coming out as he has in most of his fights, where he had been totally out of shape, and coming out looking like a different guy here.
Well, that was my point. The fact that, sometimes guys lose weight, but it affects them. But with Arreola, I mean, he is so focused on being on top here. He has a opportunity to be the first Mexican heavyweight champion. And this is a very important fight to him. He's very focused, very serious.
BJ, what were your thoughts about round one?
I thought, round one, both guys landed some good shots. I think Chris landed some more solid shots, but Travis's eyes are open and he's seeing what's coming from Chris. But Chris obviously landing the heavier blows. Nice right hand and a couple nice counter left hooks whenever whenever Kauffman tried to commit with that right hook to the body.
Seconds out. Let's go, Red.
Travis Kauffman, 30 years old, out of Reading, Pennsylvania. He's won 12 in a row since the loss that we mentioned earlier, which took place back in 2009, but not against top flight competition. His last fight this past September, a second round knockout. He has never faced a fighter of Arreola's caliber. Plus he's had a series of injury-related long layoffs, and as you saw, Steve Farhood, our unofficial score, has it a 10-9 round for Travis Kauffman.
Very close round, could have went either way, but both guys landed some good shots, and I liked a little more what Arreola did, but Kauffman landed some good shots as well.
Strong body shot by Arreola.
I love it when Arreola goes to the body. I mean, it really, with his power, with his strength, it makes a difference, especially in the later rounds.
You see Travis kind of walking in here, guys. He's got to remember, use that left jab a little bit. Give Arreola something to look at to disguise the combinations that he wants to land, because both guys can punch.
Kauffman saying that he knew this would be an action-packed fight, but if it becomes a slugfest, that it would certainly be better for Chris Arreola.
Travis got wobbled with that right hand, guys.
Good combination by Arreola. Kauffman was hurt.
I love what I'm seeing here with Arreola going to the body. I mean, he's so physically strong. When he goes to the body and puts his punches together, it makes a big difference here.
And what happened was Kauffman tried to go to the body of Arreola, and Arreola just caught him afterwards. Said, listen, I'm not giving away anything free. You try to come to my body, I'm going to punish you. That's exactly what he did.
Kauffman in the red, white, and blue trunks. Arreola in the black.
Arreola, don't do that. Don't do that.
Referee Mark
Keep your head up.
with a
nice and clean,
warning
okay? Here we go.
to Arreola.
And very important in a fight like this where both guys, they used to be friends, but when they're back in the ring, it's all business. Both guys want to win. They have to keep their cool and stick to their game plan.
The thing about it, BJ, these guys, they know each other, and they know how to upset each other.
Yes, they do, and I think I like Travis out of the southpaw stance a little better, because when he's in the orthodox stance, he's getting hit with some of those right hands from Chris. So I would tell Travis to stay southpaw a little while and get a better gauge on some of the punches from Arreola. Nice body shot by Travis. You see him commit with that left hook up top, bring the hands of Arreola up, and sink that right uppercut to the body.
Arreola putting the hands down, as we saw at the end of round one.
and bring it up.
And taking a look at some of the action in the last round, how Arreola set up that right hand. Didn't really land anything too clean there on that particular combination, but throughout the round he landed some nice clean rights. Here you see some good head movement from Travis Kauffman. And Arreola using a tactic, just keeping his head down, not letting him raise his head back up and land a combination. A lot of guys do that when you put your head in. You hold their head down and make the referee call you for it.
So the low blow thrown by Arreola. Arreola says he spent the last 6 weeks grinding away at high altitude, training in Big Bear, California. Says there's no oxygen there. It's really tough. And BJ, I know you spent some time in Big Bear training.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go up there with Kennedy McKinney when he fought Junior Jones a long time ago for that Junior Featherweight World Championship, and just a great experience, a great opportunity. So the thing I got from it, though, Marv, is how focused Chris has been for this camp, and 2 times a day. It's good work.
Let's go to Kenny Rice in the corner.
All right, in the Arreola corner with Henry Ramirez. Henry, what about the conditioning so far for Chris?
It's a pretty good fight right now. You know, both guys are mixing up pretty good. I want Chris to apply a little more pressure, working behind the double or triple jab, and it's a good fight.
All this conditioning, he hasn't lost any power, you don't think?
No, I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. You know, it's a good fight. Travis is a good fighter. They're both in there to win.
All right, thank you, Henry. Marv?
All right, Kenny. And Ray Arreola is a fighter who's gone 10 rounds or more 6 times. Travis Kauffman has done it only once.
That makes a big difference, knowing how to pace yourself. In those late rounds, being able to kind of bring up that energy. Arreola has been there. More experience.
And particularly if Arreola is in better shape, we shall see. This is scheduled for 12.
Level of opposition is very important, guys. Travis hasn't faced the type of opponents like Arreola, but you see the geography of the fight. You see Arreola kind of walking backwards. That's never that good of a sign for a guy who likes to come forward and slug.
And because normally Arreola is far more aggressive, but he's doing the right thing here. I don't see anything wrong with the way he's fighting here, especially when he goes to the body with those left hooks.
Correct.
What is the upside and downside of losing so much weight?
Well, a lot of times,
look out.
Beautiful body shots.
Well, Kauffman able to land. 6th time that Arreola has been down.
You stay there. Well told you, Arreola. You're good. Okay, here we go.
So much for the better shape of Chris Arreola. Here comes Kauffman to the body.
It's a...
Nobody punch. There we go. Let him go. Nice and easy. Here we go.
How he scored that knockdown, Mark. He started to the body and he finished up top and hit Arreola with a hard right hand, and Arreola's still in a lot of trouble.
and look what Kauffman is doing. He's taking his time. I mean, he's really not being too aggressive, but he's staying on top of his man with shots to the body, to the head, walking his man down.
Arreola is looking to last this 3rd round. But Kauffman continues to land to the head. A strong round 3 for Travis Kauffman.
Down. Over there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You stay there. Walk towards me, Arreola.
Terrific round 3 for Travis Kauffman. Kauffman outlanded Arreola 9 punches to 1 over the final minute of round 3. Now Arreola looking to stay away here at the start of the 4th. Good left hook by Kauffman.
Look what Kauffman is doing. He's picking his shots. In other words, he's selecting the place where he's effective. To the body, to the head.
Nice combination by Kauffman as we said it to Paul Bergmeister. Paul.
What is Travis doing so well to be in control? Arreola's a bully. Arreola ain't really the gangster I thought he was. He's tough. He is tough. So Travis got to stay smart all the time. And he can punch a little bit. But Travis, when he lost that weight, he can't take the shots no more. The shots was the reason he took shots, goes with. The weight was in. Thank you.
All right, Paul, good shot with the left hand by Arreola, who's showing some signs. Being tied up here by Kauffman.
It was a hard left hook, Marv. Travis was standing a little too straight up, and Chris caught him with a nice left hook that definitely hurt him. And something very nice that Arreola did in the last round, Marv, whenever he went down, he stayed down and took the full 8 count. He didn't try to rush up before he was recovered. He took his full time, and that's really a veteran move.
And that's experience too, Big J. He took his time getting up, took the full count.
Sometimes our pride won't let us take the full count, Ray, but he did the smart thing there, and he's having a good round here.
Coming back from that 10-8 round, according to the Steve Farhood scorecard, in round 3. Just under a minute left in this 4th round. Arreola looking fresher after what we saw in the 3rd round.
Nice 4-punch combination from Kauffman a second ago. Not very often you see those from heavyweights, Marv.
Kauffman once again successfully going to the body.
I'd like to see both guys get their jabs going, Marv. Both guys seem kind of, content to get in front of each other and slug it out. I think the left jab could really be a key in gaining control for either guy right now.
Well, both guys, they're such power punchers, and they try to just use their power as opposed to the jab, like you said, which is very important. The simplest punch, the best punch.
It appears Arreola has a cut over the right eye, which could be a factor later on. So that'll do it for round number 4.
And we take a look at how Kauffman set up the knockdown of Arreola. He started at the body, Ray. He dug those shots in, finished with a nice right hand up top. And then later in the next round, Chris Arreola comes back and lands a very nice counter right. A couple body shots there. And gained a little bit of control back after really being hurt in the round before, Ray. So it was good stuff from Chris to be able to recompose himself and come back and do some damage to Travis Kauffman.
Oh, that was a plus for him, for Arreola to have come back and dominated that round.
It appeared that the cut over the right eye of Arreola was sustained by an accidental butt. It is on to round 5. Marv Albert, Sugar Ray Leonard, DJ Flores. We're at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. Steve, how have you scored it to this point?
38-37. Kauffman is certainly shaping up to be a very interesting fight. Kauffman in round 3 got the 2-point round for the knockdown. I thought the rest of the rounds, with the exception of the first, were pretty easy to score. The first round was debatable, so it's tight on the cards at this point. And a reminder that Kauffman was on the verge of beating Tony Grano when he got stopped in his one loss. tonight. He seemed on the verge of stopping Arreola. We'll see how it plays out.
And that fight with Tony Grano back in 2009, our boxing historian Steve Farhood, unofficial score.
And Marv, with me, like I said, if Arreola's not coming forward, he's got to do something, though. He can't just wait for Kauffman to walk at him and do whatever he wants with his combinations. Arreola needs to get to that jab and get to that body and make Travis commit.
And as Arreola's moving backwards, he's more vulnerable to being countered by Kauffman. Kauffman is just walking him down.
And Kauffman, Ray, needs to be careful to let his hands go as well. You can't just walk in front of a puncher like Arreola. Make sure and come in with shots and a little bit of head movement to disguise what you're trying to do.
I like those punches, that overhand right by Kauffman. That's the shot that catches you on the side of your head. We're not, really first, not your equilibrium, I should say.
And conditioning is definitely going to come in here because, even though it's only in round 5, both fighters are already tired a bit, Ray. And who can suck it up and put it in that, go into that extra gear is going to have more success in the next few rounds.
Kauffman coming out with a combination, has Arreola against the ropes.
Nice counter left hook by Arreola on his inside.
It's about who times this shot perfectly. It's going to be able to put the other guy in trouble.
Both guys have decent reflexes for heavyweights, Ray. We've seen some good counter punching from both.
Good hand speed too, by the way.
Chris Arreola, 34 years of age, record of 36-4, 1 draw, 1 disqualification, 31 by knockout, and Travis Kauffman, a 30-year-old, with a record of 20-1, 22 by knockout, and has certainly held his own to this point.
Listen, shoot the double jab right hand. You got to pick up the pressure.
He's losing steam in his shots. So you got to put that defense in. You got to go under there and work, Travis. You got to work. You can't take a body shot.
In the corner, Nazim Richardson. He's been Kauffman's trainer the past couple of years, still the trainer for Bernard Hopkins. You look at total punches, and Kauffman well in front, 248 to 218, and the same for power punches. Good exchange here, and an uppercut by Arreola. Kauffman holding on. Another right hand by Arreola, followed by the left.
Kauffman was keeping his head down inside. Arreola saw that and picked it up with a nice right uppercut, Marv. Good punch selection at the appropriate time.
You have to appreciate the variation, the punches these guys are throwing, the combinations that they're throwing, the uppercuts and the left hooks. And they're putting it all together.
Travis Kauffman doing some real nice work to the body before Arreola caught him with that right uppercut.
Stop.
Arreola coming in at 236 pounds, 2 fights back and a win by decision over Curtis Harper in a wild one. Arreola was at 262 pounds and came up with a knockdown in that first fight, suffered an injured right hand, getting it out for the win.
Henry Ramirez asked for the jab, right hand from Arreola. And what I'm seeing from Chris right now, he's kind of pushing the jab, Marv. He's not really snapping it out there. I think if he would change that up a little bit, it would allow him to land his other combinations.
That left hook of Kauffman and the overhand right seems to be finding his target. Kauffman.
Very effective punches. You see once they get in the inside, it's actually Kauffman who's got the shorter, more compact punches, but he just has little lapses where Arreola slides that right hand to that hook occasionally.
And Arreola getting in with the left hook effectively. The voice of Nazim Richardson in the corner of Travis Kauffman, who has switched to southpaw once again. You didn't like that in the early rounds, did you, BJ?
I thought he was having some good success with it, but then he actually started catching Chris with some nice right hands, so it makes sense to, stay in the orthodox stance. He's still switching up and confusing him, though.
And if you watch Kauffman, he throws these pity passes, and also he throws a hard shot, kind of trying to surprise Arreola.
Trying to bait him in, and every punch doesn't have to be a home run ball race, so I really like that. Sometimes singles and doubles get you to win the game.
Both fighters look like they have slowed down considerably in this 6th round. Perhaps some fatigue has set in, and this is scheduled for 12.
Stop, nobody punches. Break. There you go. Nice and clean.
So that's the end of round 6. In the corner of Chris Arreola, they're working on just above that right eye, the result of an accidental butt earlier in the fight.
Let's take a look at some of these clean punches and how Arreola landed that right uppercut. He used his left hand to create a little bit of space, saw Travis had his head down, came with that nice right uppercut, and took the round on my card. He really did a lot of good work off of that. Nice punch selection from Chris Arreola in those close quarters.
We'll check with Steve Farhead's scorecard in a moment. This appears to be a very close one over the opening 6.
I like
the pace of it has certainly slowed down.
I was going to say that the fact that he has a solid, a powerful jab. You notice that when he jabs, Kauffman, it knocks his head back.
He does land it too, Ray. You got to discourage Kauffman from walking in and land those body shots. If you don't give him anything to look at or think about, then he's going to impose his will on him. So Chris needs to get that punch going. He's walking right forward now.
A lot of chatter from the corner of Travis Kauffman.
See Travis Kauffman walking forward, kind of calm, kind of patient. Chris isn't really doing anything to, force Travis out of his comfort zone, and I think he needs to more if it's getting to that point in the fight.
As we touched on a moment ago, Kauffman, in terms of power punches and total punches, well in front.
And Marv, that makes perfect sense because Chris is allowing Travis Kauffman to walk straight in and do what he does, dig to the body and finish up top.
This one opened as a slugfest combination to the body by Kauffman, but things have really slowed down.
Those body shots would definitely slow you down and bring those hands down too.
And both guys have landed good shots to the body, Ray, but to me, in this round, it seems like Travis is the one who's actually trying to make the fight and landing the shots when he gets close, and Chris is kind of just conserving his energy right now.
And they can't just throw one shot or two shots. If they can't put together combinations, 3 shots, 4 shots.
You know how difficult that is for heavyweights in the 7th round, though,
They can do it. They can do it.
For the record, when fights have gone 7 rounds or more, Arreola has come up with 4 knockouts. Kauffman with 0.
Beautiful left hook a second ago by Travis Kauffman. He faked the jab and came with a nice left hook that caught Chris Arreola nice. Very clean on the chin with that.
The 7th round coming to a close, scheduled for 12 between these two heavyweights, Chris Arreola, Travis Kauffman. Let's go to Liam McHugh.
Marv, thanks. Plenty of hard-hitting action already here tonight, and more still to come. And while this is our last PBC event of the year, there's still plenty to look forward to in the next week. You can tune in next Friday for more PBC boxing on Spike. And then next Saturday, join us as we look back at the first year of Premier Boxing Champions and celebrate the best of 2015. We'll pick winners across several categories, none bigger than PBC Fighter of the Year. The 5 nominees for that category: Showtime Sean Porter, Danny Swift Garcia, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, Keith One-Time Thurman, and Leo Santa Cruz. We will also reveal the fans' pick for each category, and you can help choose the winner. Go to PremierBoxingChampions.com to vote. Marv, back to you.
All right, thank you, Liam. On to round 8, and Chris Arreola not having an easy time with Travis Kauffman. Arreola, who twice challenged for a heavyweight title, losing by knockout to Vitaly Klitschko back in 2009 and to Berman Stavern in 2014. With Arreola stopped in round number 6.
And that fight with Berman Stavern, I remember very well, Marv. I was on the undercard of that fight at the Galen Center, and Chris had a lot of good moments in that fight before he was stopped.
We talked about the fatigue that appeared to be setting in a couple of rounds back after the flashy start. A look at our unofficial scorecard from Steve Farhood. And he has Kauffman in front by 2 points. And Kauffman getting very confident.
Well, Arreola's not giving him anything to look at, Marv. He's just letting him walk in and deliver punches to the head and the body. So Chris has got to use that left jab, like Henry said, and then get into this fight with his combinations.
And Kauffman just walking in, just actually walking into his man.
You think the major loss of weight has something to do with what we're seeing here tonight?
It could be a factor. It really could be a factor. And maybe not physically, but mentally, psychologically, it could be a factor.
Good point, Ray. And it could be both. It could be physically and, psychologically. They said it in the corner of Travis Kauffman. They said, you know what? The weight that he lost doesn't allow him to take a punch.
Kauffman showing his entire repertoire. Uppercuts, shots to the body. Let's go to Kenny Rice. Kenny.
All right, back in the Arreola corner. Henry, what about his conditioning? How's he holding up?
I mean, it's a tough fight. Like I said before, back and forth. Both guys, I think, are a little tired. I think we're a little behind. I really need Chris to rally.
You think you're behind in this fight?
It's a close fight. I think we might be a little bit behind. He really needs a rally, though.
All right, thanks, Henry. You heard him, Marv. He thinks this guy needs to rally here.
All right, Ken, we're coming up on a minute remaining in this 8th round. And the fresher fighter appears to be Travis Kauffman.
The more active, the more busy fighter. He got hit with a good combination a second ago, but then he put Arreola against the ropes and landed a nice combination of his own. He's just way more busy and way letting his hands go.
He has thrown more than 40 power punches in comparison to Arreola.
Nice talking. Kauffman is talking trash, but he's doing damage. He's busier, a lot busier than Arreola.
Nice right hook of the body a second ago.
Good shots here. Good shots. Good combinations.
And that's exactly what it sets up, Ray. When he digs the body like that, he can finish up top with that straight right hand. He can hurt Chris Arreola with that punch.
You guys mentioned because they have sparred together so frequently, they know each other's style very well, but it's been Kauffman who has been able to take advantage to this point. Now, hands down, being shown by Chris Arreola.
He's tired, but listen to me, Chris. You've got to push him back and go to the body. Every chance you get, you got to touch the body. Then come back up on top, right?
He's fading, but you slowing down.
Yeah, you're fighting.
He's fading.
You're slowing down.
You're slowing down. So now he can compete.
I like what Brother Nazim told him. Hey, he's fading, but you're slowing down. You see a nice right hand here from Chris Arreola. And then later in the round, Kauffman did some really nice work in a round that I feel like Kauffman dominated. He walked Arreola down the whole round and made him feel a lot of his power punches.
Ray and BJ, as we mentioned earlier, Kauffman has never faced a fighter of Arreola's caliber. Plus, he's had a series of injury-related long layoffs, including 12, 14, and 19 months back in late 2007. And Kauffman at one time ballooned to 310 pounds.
Well, you see the momentum has really changed because Kauffman now is really being a lot more aggressive now.
The first couple rounds of the fight, Ray, were very important, and both guys kind of tried to take control, but it's Travis Kauffman walking forward and landing the heavier shots now, and Chris hasn't found an answer.
Well, Kauffman is able to let his hands go and put out some combinations, variations of punches. That's where he wins the fight, or the wins the round, I should say.
Kauffman has outlanded Arreola by the count of 48 to 29 the last 2 rounds.
Watch the back of the head.
Yeah, he's been dominating the Marvin. I really feel like he's starting to break Arreola down. It's at the point in the fight where they both said, hey, I'm going to have control by this time in the fight, and it's Travis Kauffman who was right about that statement.
Well, earlier we saw what took place on Thursday during the course of the press conference, and these guys came in seemingly as friends because of all the sparring they had done with each other. But it was, his left hand just did miss, thrown by Kauffman. And the fun and games continued at the weigh-in yesterday. They were in each other's face. It was more Arreola who was prompting the anger with Kauffman, whether it was putting on a show or whether it was serious, we don't know, but
one of those shots by Kauffman kind of buckled Arreola.
We see the right side of the body of Arreola is completely red. And, that's from the right hook of Travis Kauffman. He's really committed to that side of the body, and he's going to look to set up the right hand in these next few rounds off of that punch.
Coming up on Premier Boxing Champions, a matchup of one-time lightweight title holders. Omar Figueroa Jr., 25-0. Another low blow. Going up against Southpaw Antonio DeMarco at 31-5, which includes 23 by knockout. That is our next feature bout. So Arreola shaken up. It was a left hook thrown low by Kauffman. Let's go to Hall of Fame referee Steve Smoger. Steve?
He's got 5 minutes by rule to recover, so he can walk it off and take up to 5 minutes. Then he must proceed.
And I see a lot of fighters in situations like this rush to get back too early. Take your whole time. Take the 5 minutes if you need it. That's what it's there for, and really give yourself a good shot to get back in the fight.
Agreed.
Let me know when you're ready.
And he's taking as much time as possible. And the crowd turning on Arreola. And here's another look.
Way south of the border, Marv. I mean, we could see that. Definitely caught him and definitely affected Arreola. But what's interesting to me is Brother Nazim over in the corner telling him, hey, you take the full 5 minutes, you're going to need it.
It was a low blow.
As you see, 39 seconds remaining in round 9. It's a heavyweight bout scheduled for 12.
It does, and Arreola's maybe making a smart move here. We saw him slowing down the last few rounds, Marvin, taking maybe a much-needed breather.
Both fighters have looked fatigued after those earlier rounds, although Kauffman has come back stronger. And they touch gloves. And then Kauffman goes right at him with the right hand.
Nice overhand right over the jab of Chris Arreola by Travis Kauffman. Nice little sneaky counter. And I think Travis is most effective, guys, when he kind of moves his head side to side. Doesn't just walk straight in.
That left hand just did miss, thrown by Kauffman. That'll do it for round 9. A reminder, Wednesday night, it is rivalry night on NBCSN. The Penguins and their new head coach, Mike Sullivan, taking on the Boston Bruins. The night you love to hate. Coverage begins Wednesday at 7 Eastern on NBCSN.
And we see what happened in the last round. Nice left hook by Travis Kauffman. The punch is really starting to take effect on Chris Arreola. And this is after the low blow, some really good work. Arreola lands a left hook, Kauffman lands one of his own, but another good round for Kauffman.
Arreola remaining in his corner, sitting for as long as possible as Kauffman jumps right out.
And speaking with Kauffman yesterday, he was so confident. He just felt that this is the perfect fight for him. He has too many tools, too many weapons that he can take Arreola. He's really displaying a lot of talent here.
Nice right hand from Arreola a second ago, Ray. We haven't seen that punch from him. And then he set it up with a nice jab to the body and brought the right hand up top and connected clean on Travis Kauffman.
And you just saw a moment ago Steve Farhood's unofficial scorecard. He had the last 3 rounds in favor of Kauffman. And has Kauffman in for 87-83. That is unofficial.
Kauffman seems to be standing almost like a stationary target, and when he walks in, he walks straight into Arreola, which leaves him open.
The difference has been, Ray, the fact that Arreola is actually shooting punches this round and he's catching him. So Travis has been walking in, but Arreola hasn't let his hands go, and now he is. I think they woke him up in the corner.
Well, the rest may have helped after he took that low blow, and he took, it appeared, nearly the 5 minutes that you're allowed. Arreola knocked down in round 3 by Kauffman.
Nice left uppercut by Arreola.
Good left hand by Kauffman. Caught Arreola with the hook.
Another nice right hand by Arreola. He's getting through with that punch in this round, guys.
He doubled and tripled up with that right hand.
When that right hand lands, he has come back with that left hook.
And Travis doesn't want to keep taking those kinds of punches, Ray.
Not at all.
You can't walk through those all night. So you see the back foot of Arreola is planted. He's really getting good leverage on that shot finally. I'd be curious to see the punch stats on how many punches Kauffman has thrown this round, because he's really got the handcuffs on right now, guys. He's not letting them go.
The referee doesn't see the tape on Arreola's glove, his left hand.
Good combination by Arreola.
I just love that left hook right hand. That's a great combination. Can work for both guys now.
Especially when your man's walking straight in, you don't have to look for him, Ray.
Oh, Arreola loaded up on that right hand.
Listen, you got 3 rounds to turn this fight around. You're fighting for your career, son. Yep. Listen to me. Listen to me. I need you to suck it up. I need you to walk to him, start using the damn.
Cut the ring off. Drive that straight right hand in his body. Throw that left hook up, come back with it again. I don't trust nothing.
And let's take a look at some of the work that's happened. How Travis Kauffman set up that knockdown with a nice right hand, hurt Chris Arreola. later in the 6th round, you see a nice right uppercut by Chris, landing on Travis Kauffman, hurting him. And then later in the 8th round, Kauffman coming back, hitting Chris with some nice punches and doing some more good work. But, you know, round 9, Chris Arreola was back to the offensive and did some good stuff. You see a good hook there by Kauffman, but Chris Arreola came alive in that last round, and he's going to need the last couple rounds on my scorecard, Ray, if he wants to get back in this fight.
He has to give it all he has.
I think combination punching is the key here. You see him let the jab and the straight right hand go, and all of a sudden he had himself a big round.
Chris Arreola, 34 years old, out of Riverside, California, record of 36-4, 31 by knockout. And Travis Kauffman, 30 years old, from Reading, Pennsylvania, at 30-1, 22 by knockout. But during the course of his career, he's had a number of layoffs, and as we've said on several occasions, has never faced anyone of the caliber of Arreola, who was connected with a good right hand, and another Arreola coming to life here in this 11th round.
He can't miss that punch, Marv. He's landed it every time he shoots it.
Again, this is the punch. This is the combination that Arreola should be really putting into play. Left hook, right hand.
And if I'm Arreola, and, you know, I've had success with that in the 10th and 11th rounds, I'm going to stick with it. You know, why try to reinvent the wheel? You need to switch this fight around, and those 2 punches can be the key.
Two total punches, just about even.
Another nice right hand by Chris Arreola. So if I'm in the corner of Travis Kauffman, I'm going to tell him, hey, step to your right. Go away from Arreola's right hand. Still be offensive, but don't walk right into that punch.
And you get the feeling Arreola has been told he needs a knockout, because he's trying to land a bomb here in these final rounds.
And Marv, the way he's going to get a knockout is do exactly what he did in the last round. Let his hands go and let those combinations flow.
Well, the left hook to the body works also. Left hook to the body, right hand to the head. Simple combinations, but very, very effective.
Stop! Nobody punch, take a step back.
Approaching a minute remaining in round number 11. Chris Arreola, known for slugfests, came out in that manner. Kauffman was able to weather it, and then Kauffman came back strong, including a knockdown in round 3. And on our unofficial scorecard from boxing historian Steve Farhood, he has Kauffman in front, 96-93. Kauffman has pulled a surprise to this point. And coming up next, our main event, a matchup of one-time lightweight title holders Omar Figueroa Jr. and Antonio DeMarco, super welterweight bout scheduled for 12 rounds.
And both guys look exhausted now, Marv, so it's about which guy can go somewhere mentally and find the strength to finish this last few minutes of this fight, because Travis has definitely got the lead. Chris is going to need a strong finish.
And it's no question Arreola is going for the knockout. Oh, right hand on the chin landed by Arreola at the bell. So we'll stay right here. We are in San Antonio, Texas, the AT&T Center, the home of the San Antonio Spurs. This is only the 3rd boxing event held here. The last one was July of 2013, and it was Omar Figueroa on that card, coming up with a thrilling win over Nihito Arreola.
And looking at some of the action in the last round, you see Chris shooting that left uppercut to create a different angle to land that right hand. He was successful with the right hand in the 2 rounds previous, but that uppercut throws another element into the mix. Good offensive weapon for Chris Arreola.
Now in boxing, you get the idea there's never a time where a fighter feels he's through. But is Arreola fighting for his career at this point, 12th and final round?
Without question, Mark. I mean, this is do or die for him. This is it.
Here we go. Let's go. Box.
That was not a friendly touch of gloves, incidentally.
There's respect, though, Mark. That was indeed respect.
So left hand landed by Kauffman.
Arreola actually landed the left hand, Marv. You see Kauffman step back, he kind of wobbled him a little bit. And see how he responds.
What appeared the last couple of rounds that Kauffman was not as effective as he was earlier, and Arreola was searching for a knockout with the feeling that he is behind on the scorecard.
But he was doing it the right... Ooh, I'm not sure what that was. He was doing it the right way, Marv. He was using combination punching to score and look for that knockout. So I think if Chris does that in this last round again, he can have more success.
Hey, take a step back.
And it gone by in this 12th and final round.
Now here is when Arreola just needs to throw punches. This is when you can abandon the left jab, because now it's all about really winning this round big.
And Kauffman, to me, guys, he's really faded the last 3 rounds. He got the middle section of this fight where he was really in control, but Arreola's done something to turn it around a little bit. And I think he's just let his hands go. It's been the main key.
Oh, he caught Kauffman on the chin.
This is when it's all about heart right now. At this point here, it's all about heart. And who wants it the most?
Travis definitely wanted to make a statement in this fight. He told us it's his time. Chris isn't ready to go into the sunset just yet, so a minute left in this fight to determine what happens.
Back of the head, control your tools.
This will be a tough one to score. I know Steve Farhead has a 2-point edge for Kauffman. And we're down to the final minute.
And Marv, if this round goes to Arreola, it could be a very close fight. A 1-point fight, which on any judge's scorecard could go either way. You know that.
Doubling and tripling up on that left jab.
This is when your mind and your heart says to answer the question, do you want to win this? How bad do you want to win?
Arreola was rocked. We're down to 20 seconds remaining. Arreola, who went down in the 3rd, took a shot. Down to 10 seconds. That might have won this final round for Kauffman. And that'll do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your ringside judges. Your first judge, Arreola Perez, scores the fight 114 to 113, seeing it for Arreola. Your second judge at ringside, Wilfredo Esperon, scores the fight 114 to 113, seeing it for Kauffman. Your third and final judge at ringside, Valerie Dorset, scores the fight 114 to 113 for the winner by split decision, Chris the Nightmare Arreola.